Living with dyspraxia. In this video, I'm going to give you an insight into living with dyspraxia. Now, dyspraxia is like the misunderstood cousin of the neurodivergent family. I have dyspraxia, so I'm going to document some of my challenges. Now, the purpose of this video is to bring awareness and insight. So let's analyze this train of thought accordingly. So this week has been a real struggle, but I can't tell the full story. But what I can disclose is the following. Now, I checked my post box and I had about 10 letters, but you know what? It felt like I had about 100 letters because I was totally overwhelmed. Now, processing all the information in the letters was just stressful, really stressful. Now, the letters with the small fonts, they were the hardest to process. It's just such a frustrating experience. I get it though, no one enjoys letters, but this for me is like, there's like this discomfort scale from 1 to 100. For some it may be like 10, but for me it feels like a 90. So let's go to the black screen and break this down into phases. Phase 1, the issue here is processing. Phase 2, this processing issue leads to anxiety. And finally phase 3, this means difficulty in processing and anxiety have a relationship. Now, I think for awareness, it's important to understand this relationship. So let me explain something that I think is easily understood. One of the ways to build rapport at work is to make the tea, right? It's like a term of endearment. And in the British context, we do love a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Some may say it's a generation addicted to caffeine, but that's a different discussion. Now, there was a time I would not make the tea or the coffee, not because I did not want to, but because I would not remember people's names or remember how they would have their hot beverage. Now, how is this linked to dyspraxia? Well, one of the issues of dyspraxia is short-term memory, and there's an easy solution to this. In the office kitchen, everyone puts their name down and details how they would like their tea or their coffee. And I feel there's a lesson to learn here, and that lesson is to always be solution focused. Don't just focus on the problem, look for solutions. And this, interestingly enough, translates to the business world and the personal world. So I've been working out today, and on reflection, it really dawned on me. Dyspraxia really affects my workout. No, this is not a reach. It really affects my workout. Hear me out. For example, I can do clap press-ups, but I struggle to do normal press-ups. And I feel so uncomfortable trying to do a burpee. It just feels extremely awkward. This makes sense because dyspraxia is a motor coordination issue. Now, some people with dyspraxia struggle with a knife and fork. Now, always remember that dyspraxia affects people in different ways. And the solution for me is do what you can. So when I work out, I do shoulder taps, jumping jacks, some small weights, boxing drills, etc. I remember I once read in a YouTube comment section that the best workout in the world is the one that you do. So I'm going to go to animation for this one. Now, for those that don't know, dyspraxia can affect movements in hands. This is called fine motor coordination. So think of riding a bike, or think of using a knife and fork, tying shoelaces, etc. Now, I've been practicing using Zoom as I'm going to be delivering some training, and I was having some issues using the mouse and trying to click on the relevant icons. I mean, I remember clicking on view and then clicking on the gallery and then completely losing my composure. This is where doing something again and again is so important, and I feel habits are the best way to deal with memory issues that are associated with your dyspraxia. So I was going to the supermarket, which is about 10 minutes away, and I got into the supermarket and I realized that I completely forgot what I was supposed to buy. Now, I have said in the past, people with dyspraxia like myself should always have a shopping list, and it's a big shame that I did not take my own advice today. This is practically frustrating because it means I will have to do 2 trips to the supermarket as opposed to doing 1. So I guess the moral of this story is to take my own advice. You know, I've been going through a lot of stress recently, and it was taking a significant toll on my mental health. And I've come to the conclusion that I have to be content with doing my best. Now, in the story of myth of Sisyphus, a man is punished by the gods, and his punishment is to move a rock up a mountain, only to see it fall to the bottom, and he repeats this every day for eternity. In a way, most of our lives can symbolize this painful process of pushing the rock up the mountain. But we can decide whether we push that rock with a smile or whether we are distraught and sad. And today, I'm trying to choose happiness. And also remember, we have a decision whether we push that rock or not. And it's dawned on me that those with dyspraxia like myself, we have to push the rock of dyspraxia. But it's easier to push that rock together. Now here is my final thought. Remember, dyspraxia is a neurological condition that affects motor skill development, and it can significantly impact mental health due to the daily challenges it presents. Individuals with dyspraxia often experience difficulties with coordination, memory, and organization, and this can lead to frustration, low self-esteem, and anxiety. Now for me, the solution is to find happiness, even if it's temporary, and to find inspiration, which helps others. I am not competing with anyone. I am just trying to be the best version of myself. And with that being said, thanks for listening. I sincerely hope this video provided you some value.